Welcome to the Training Partners Podcast, episode number 12. And we have a very special guest with us today.
Thank you, Chris.
Sean, you're here every day.
Oh.
Actually,
okay.
You're not.
I'm not.
You're here
kind of a special guest.
60% of the time?
There's only like one episode without me, right? Two.
Houston and Taylor.
And this is 12.
This is 12.
That's
pretty good.
I don't know the math on that.
But I meant like you're in Charlotte 60% of your life?
That's right.
That's right. But when I was thinking about how to intro this person actually this morning, this name is very popular in our lives. I was like, we have 3 very close Sarahs. I was like, wait a minute, there's 5. There are 5 Sarahs that we interact with that mean a lot to us.
And there are Sarahs and Chris's left and right.
There are Sarah and Chris's left
true.
and right.
Mm-hmm.
And that is an insane stat. But ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Sarah Tyler.
Saw, dude.
How are you today?
Great.
And you just got in town like
yesterday.
You got here yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay,
yesterday.
cool.
Got to hang out with Allison.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Got to pick up Sierra from the airport.
Oh, nice.
It's been
Got to walk my dogs.
Got to walk your dogs. Got to eat some Yafo.
Ooh. Do you not have Yafo?
No.
Really?
Mm-mm.
What's your order?
What's my order? I generally gear towards the chicken, but I put lots of fun stuff. So tzatziki, hummus, onions, like the pickled onions. You got to have pickled onions. And then the cucumber tomato salad.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. And their sweet corn is delicious.
It is very good. You're going to probably hate my order. I just do the kids' meal.
Why?
Because it's like $6 and you get tons of chicken and french fries.
Okay, but you have a mission. You want food, lots of food for a
Correct.
low price.
Correct.
And no vegetables.
But I do love vegetables. So if they'd sprinkle some vegetables on there, I'd get it. It's just not an option.
It's not in the kids' meal.
It's
The
not
kids'
in the
meal
kids'
is
meal.
just here's a thing of chicken.
Chicken and french fries.
And the french fries.
This is great.
My go-to place, though, when I'm here is El Malo, for sure.
Where is this?
Where is
You don't know
this?
about El Malo? We haven't told you
Is
about
it the taco place you took me to that one night?
I don't think I took you here.
Okay. What is this?
They do have tacos.
You
We get
gatekeeping?
I kind of am. I kind of need this cut from this episode so that other charlatans don't go there and ruin it. Okay, Harley did find it. Harley and Tynan.
Harley, you never told me that.
Harley and Tynan went there first, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll go try it.
Okay.
But it's the most Californian place in all of the Southeast, as far as I'm concerned.
You can't get Mexican food that tastes decent anywhere where I live.
There's one taco shop like near our house. Actually, it's good. It's like legitimate street tacos and everything like that. I can take you there and you can judge.
Love that.
But like the burritos are the hard part, right? Like a
Yeah.
California burrito is such a
Yeah.
specific thing.
I get the birria burrito, which is fantastic.
And you can tell like the main key is like, do they cook with lard or not? And they absolutely do there.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
They're 100% doing that. So
Have you been to the delicious bakery over by your house?
Is that what it's
of
called?
course. Manolos.
Yes, you should take her there.
Yeah.
That'd be like.
I am a bakery person.
Okay, perfect.
Do you like tres leches?
I do.
Excellent. The best tres leches in the city. Yeah, it's
My go-to, though, is a cup of coffee with a flaky pastry of any variety.
They'll have those. Well, we're gonna take her to Villani's.
Good. Okay, perfect.
So,
Great choice.
But anyway,
Before we get into all of the wonderful Sarah stuff, Sean, you've been gone for a week and a half? A week?
it was only a week. Well, yeah, it was only a week, maybe 8 days.
8 days? But a lot happened
The
while
journey.
while you were gone.
The journey took
Oh,
time.
life is about the journey, not the destination. This journey probably took years off your life.
Stephen Hawking. Is that who said that?
I have no idea. Michael Scott.
Michael Scott. Yeah, I got stranded on the way to Junior Pan Am Games, but I got there. Okay, I landed in like a mini hurricane apparently, so that was interesting. It was like one of the few times. It's the everybody on the plane clapped when we landed, which hasn't happened in quite some time. Yeah. Several. I think actually the worst like turbulence I've ever experienced. Like everybody like flying up out of the chair. Multiple times. You know, you have your seatbelt on so you don't go anywhere, but if you didn't have your seatbelt on, maybe you do, sort of thing. But then, yeah, went and supported our athletes there at Junior Pan Am Games. It's really cool. It's a games experience, so there's like other sports there. I'd never been to Paraguay. Have you ever been to Paraguay?
I have not.
Have you ever thought about Paraguay before
I have
today?
not. Well, I thought about when you were going. So before today, yes.
Okay. All right. Listener, have you thought about Paraguay before today? Reflect on that. but it was the people were really nice and they organized it great, and our athletes lifted amazing. We got 3 medals, so
That's great.
that was excellent, and it was really unique and cool experience because it's a games, not just the other sports. You're like really part of Team USA. Like we stayed in a hotel with like wrestlers and handball players, all this kind of stuff. And there's 2 main sporting venues, like one where it's kind of like indoor sports and one where it's more outdoor sports. I didn't get to see a whole lot of that, but our athletes got the opportunity to. But what was really cool is that when you go to international events, you're usually just at the mercy of like whatever the transport bus schedule is. So there's a giant bus and it just schleps everybody, and it runs like kind of every hour-ish, something like that. But we had like a personal driver and our own van just for us, just for weightlifting.
Oh, that's neat.
And a police escort pretty much every day. So like literally 2 guys on motorbikes parting the sea of traffic. When you go to these other countries, they put it in the capital city and it's almost always like traffic all day long.
Chaos.
Like Lima's the worst. But yeah, they parted the sea, and like instead of it being like a 30 to 45 minute trip because of traffic, it was like a 15-minute trip.
That's
so
great.
Shout out to the Paraguayan National Police, Policía Nacional. Yeah.
We
doing that.
appreciate them.
Yeah, never gotten a police escort to training before.
So Team Good did good. Y'all had fun. Got to
great.
see some cool things. Go to a new place.
Very unique, yeah.
Also, while you were gone, some blue shirt guy news broke right when you got back.
Yeah. I got a promotion with USA Weightlifting. I'm now the sport performance manager. I manage performances.
I saw it was posted on Reddit,
Was it?
and the first question was like,
What?
does that even mean?"
That's a good question.
So would you like to briefly?
Sure. You know, I think one of the things we don't do very well, I could say we now, is kind of tell the story. Like it's not like intentional. There's just legitimately a lot of work to do, but it was like mystery. I think I do think I saw the post and people were like, aren't there people already doing all this? And it's like, actually, no. That's why I got hired. You know, it's a lot of different. Like, there's still a coaching component, like doing what I'm currently doing, going into the field and supporting our athletes and their personal coaches and managing like the preparation for that. I'm still gonna help out at training camps. I'll probably do less events in the year and focus more on senior and junior events. So that will probably happen. But then there's a lot of day-to-day stuff that goes into making all this possible, like budgetary compliance and planning and policy drafting. We're going to start running some statistical models for performance to try and make better data-driven decisions, things like that. So, yeah, that's the job.
That's great. Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you very
congrats.
much, guys.
I think
Yeah.
as a regular USAW member, we don't realize how much work actually goes into things behind the scenes.
We just complain about
We just
the
complain.
website.
Yeah.
In particular.
Yeah.
And how hard it is to register for things. So do we complain to you now specifically?
I guess you can. Well, not on that sort of stuff. If you are an elite athlete on the national team, you can complain to me.
Define elite.
You know what it is, dog.
Not me.
Not us.
I wasn't including you in that. I'm talking about me.
No, I think people think that USA Weightlifting is this like, I don't know, multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that can just like make things happen. It's like, oh no, like we're relatively small compared to other sports. The majority of the funds that we do have actually go right back to athlete support. We have the largest direct athlete support program, like financially, of any NGB, like the one that do it. So most other sports are getting like private sponsors to help us out, whereas in our sport, our organization is doing the majority of that support. And there's not a lot of, and because, you know, we're limited, there's not a lot of staff members. So I think staff expanded by 3 or 4 full-time employees. I'm not exactly sure this year. So like, and before there were 12. So that's like a 25% increase.
Right. How many USAW members are there?
I think around 22,000 at the moment.
Right.
I think we peaked just under 30 and we're sitting somewhere in the 20s right now. Something like that. I
It's
think.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of people to help. So for 16 people to help
Yeah, that's
20,000+ people, yeah, that's a challenge for sure.
well. Good. Well, thanks for the updates. We're glad to have you back. But now to the real important stuff.
Yeah.
Sarah Tyler.
Saw, dude.
How excited is Sarah to be here today?
Excited to
Terrified.
be here. Excited to be on the podcast.
I'm excited to be here.
She is, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Excited to be on the podcast.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Talking about myself is not something I'm real good at. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll try to get you going with some questions to encourage you to talk about yourself. So first things first, what is your background in sport in general and your experience with those sports outside of weightlifting?
Interestingly, like I was not very athletic growing up. The only real athletic thing that I did was club sports, and I only did them maybe 2 summers before I was in high school. I think maybe in 6th grade and or 5th grade and 4th grade, I did club sports for 1 summer. And I always felt like I wanted to be an athlete. I just didn't know the route to get there. And I was raised by single parents, and I basically raised myself, latchkey kid. So I didn't really get interested in sports until high school. And my mom enrolled me into the marching band. Yes. So that's the closest really I got to sports in high school.
Did you love marching band?
I loved marching band.
Hell yeah, brother.
It made my high school experience incredible. Yep. Like I still hold that as one of the best times of my life, which is very telling. Like I am a very community-oriented person.
Yeah.
I created some friendships that I still have to this day. And I mean, who doesn't love to just march on the field for hours and hours and hours?
So what was your instrument? I didn't actually know this.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Alto sax. I actually, my freshman year.
You too? Alto sax girl.
My freshman year, I played tenor sax, but it was too heavy. I was like, this is too heavy. I want a lighter saxophone. So I did tenor sax, and then I also did drumline during the off season.
That's a good movie.
Yes, but okay, so the school I went to was very small. Okay. I was born and raised in California, in Southern California, and I spent most of my time in Huntington Beach. And I mean, it is exactly how you think. Sports were not really on the forefront. Any of the most popular sports where I grew up was like water polo, basketball, surfing, and we had a golf team. Yeah,
that makes sense.
But we didn't really have great like football teams. And
right.
I want you to define what a small school is, though, for everybody.
Okay, it wasn't a small school.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
It wasn't, but in the district, it was the smallest high school because it was actually created in the 70s for overflow. It wasn't actually intended to be a legitimate school.
Yeah.
It's just like a emergency school. Here you go.
You can actually still see in parts of the school the tracks on the ceiling for where they had those temporary like walls.
And then they just made it a real.
And then they just made it a real school. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But I had a great time. And I always wanted to be a cheerleader, or I really wanted to be on the field playing football. I wanted to play softball. Like I wanted to play those sports. I was just too scared to try out. And so I was happy being in marching band. So I just kind of stayed where I was.
I have a very fond memory of marching band. I never participated, but when I was in middle school, they let us go to be in the marching band for one day, like for one game to the high school we were going to the next year. And everyone was so nice. And it felt like the classic, just like the all-American experience of like, this is going to be so good. But then I got to high school and I was
and there's no there's no social separation. It's not like, oh, these are the cool people and like these are the uncool. Like we're all dorks, you know? Like we're all the same. We're all socially on the same level, and it feels it.
Was there no separate because you're a brass instrument, and then there's the drum line, and then like was there that kind of separation?
Yeah,
maybe?
I feel like the drummers were like the bad boys. You know, everybody was always interested in the drummers. You know, they were like the cool. Like, you know, and I went to high school in the 90s, so think of like Nirvana and like long flowy blonde hair and, you know, like those were definitely the cool
Especially
guys.
in Southern California.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Good. Okay, well, I want to focus on your athletic career, so we'll stick with that route. So after marching band, what got you, how'd you get to weightlifting? How'd you find weightlifting?
Yeah, so I started having kids in 2007, and I had 3 kids. I had my last child in 2014, and it was just an avenue. Like I had done personal training in the past for the reasons of like losing baby weight. And I actually remember one of the sessions with my personal trainer, and he's still a very good close friend of mine. I told him, I want to do the thing where you do the thing and then the thing. And he was like giggling, and he was like, that's a clean and jerk. And I was like, oh, like I want to do that. And this was way before I had kids. Mm-hmm. And fast forward to 2014, after I had my last kid, I called him and I was like, I need to start getting back into the gym. I need to lose weight. And he's like, I think you should try CrossFit. So he was the one that pushed me to try CrossFit. And it changed my life. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like that was the catalyst. Like that was the shift from like Sarah the mom to like Sarah the individual.
What was your first CrossFit workout? Do you remember it?
It was a 1 rep max deadlift.
Yes. What'd you hit that day? Do you
195.
Remember? Let's go. Did you try 200?
No.
Oh, you got this.
My back hurt for like weeks after that.
So it was a perfect deadlift. Just looked great.
Yeah. Well, no, it was terrible. It was terrible. I probably shouldn't have gone
What a way
that
to
heavy.
walk in.
Yeah, and I remember one of my first workouts was also 1RM snatch. I think it was like a testing week.
Okay.
And I snatched 125 pounds.
Okay.
The first time I ever
That's amazing.
snatched. Yeah. And I tried for 130 and dropped the bar on my neck and then rolled forward and the bar went. It was like slow motion.
Nice.
But I came back the next day.
That's huge. That
You tried to snatch 130 the first week snatching?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It was a fun time. And my first CrossFit coach, Dave Jalbert, he's still in the business. The gym was called CrossFit Insanity, but now it's called CrossFit Recharge in Irvine, California. Shout out to all my peeps out there. He really got me into weightlifting.
Okay.
So he was like, he saw me snatch 125 the first time.
On day one.
Yeah. And he's like, you should be a part of the barbell club. So
like they had the CrossFit gym, they had like a club inside as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was doing both for a little while. And then I decided, man, this running stuff is terrible. So I would only do the CrossFit workouts that I wanted to do.
I was saying, I'm trying to listen to you, but my brain is just like, and now High Rocks is a thing where like the CrossFitters complain about running within High Rocks. But as you were, go ahead.
Running is terrible.
Yeah, but I remember CrossFit was really great for me. Like I learned skills I never thought I could ever do, like double unders, handstand push-ups. There was this one open workout. It was the 55s. I don't know if you remember that one.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Calorie row.
Yep.
Deadlift.
I did that one twice that year. I did that one twice, and I improved my time off the rower by 5 minutes the second time I did it.
Oh, wow.
And that was the first time I ever got RX handstand push-ups. I got 6 of them.
Because that was the last movement.
Yeah.
Was handstand. Yep.
I got 6 of them.
We're in here doing a better job than CrossFit at promoting CrossFit right now.
I'm
And
sorry.
No. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's how bad CrossFit is at business.
They've started a new rebranding like this past
I've
week.
seen it starting to happen a little bit. But like,
they're bringing back
did you hear
Kiki.
what she said? She said that's where Sarah the mom stopped and the individual started. Like we need to like clip that for CrossFit.
Right.
Like you're welcome.
Yeah.
For a small fee, CrossFit, you can use that clip.
Yeah, my husband was like, you're spending a lot of time in the gym. I was spending like sometimes 4 or 5 hours in the gym. I just couldn't turn away. My kids grew up in that gym. I had just had my 3rd son, if you remember, and he grew up. There was a room in there for kids with a little baby gate, and he would just be in there. That's where he grew up, and he would come out. He would be on my shoulders. I started coaching in 2016. I started CrossFit in 2014. I started coaching in 2016.
Yeah.
That's how much I fell in love with it.
You went in hard, yeah.
Yeah, I would sometimes have my kid on my shoulders while I was coaching. Everybody knew my kid. The owner had 2 kids. So it was like a very cool place for kids to grow up. And then in 2017, I saw this gym on Instagram called SoCal Weightlifting. And I heard that they were having a competition and they were right around the corner, literally right around the corner from my CrossFit gym. So I showed up. The meet was, there was a lot of people there. I was like, what is this? Like, this looks amazing. And I contacted the owner and asked him if I could stop by. And that's when I met Chris. That's when I met Chris Aventa. And we sat and talked about weightlifting for like over an hour. just him and I in the gym. And I knew at that point I was hooked. Like I wanted to be a weightlifter. I wanted to compete in the sport. I was done with CrossFit. I still like did a little bit of coaching at CrossFit Insanity, but by 2018, I'd been probably at SoCal Weightlifting. I started SoCal Weightlifting in 2017. I'd probably been there for about a year. And then Chris and Sarah were like, offered me a job. And I was like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
The
You
rest
found
is
the
history.
sport that you loved.
I found the sport that I loved. Yep.
What about it do you love the most?
That's tough.
Without saying there's no running.
Yeah. Well, that's obvious. I think the thing that I love about weightlifting the most is that it doesn't matter who you are. Like it's literally for anyone. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm obviously I'm a larger body person, and being in the fitness industry was always very intimidating for me. Even as a CrossFit, I think especially as a CrossFit coach, I had a member actually talk to the owner of the gym I worked at and was like, I'm not going to take her class because I don't want to look like her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That person sucks.
Yeah. And that really struck me. Like I was the leanest I'd ever been in my life at that point. I was like 23% body fat. Like, I think it was like 185 pounds or something, which me being under 200 pounds, like I looked very lean in my mind. So hearing that was very discouraging.
Do we think that's a uniquely female thing?
I think so.
Because it's prevalent. Because Taylor gets told that, right? Like she doesn't coach really anymore, but she used to coach whatever class, and to this day, we'll have people walk in the door and be like, "Oh, well, I don't want to do that side of the room because I don't want to look like." They'll like literally point her out. I don't want to look like that person. And like our pithy answer is like, "Don't worry, you never will."
Yeah.
Because you're genetically incapable. But you know, they're talking about one reason for you, like, I guess you're a bigger whatever girl. This girl's too jacked. Like, what?
Yeah.
So what?
You
is it
really
that
can't
want?
win.
You
We
can't
really
win no
can't
matter
win.
what, right?
I just feel like as a woman, we are under so much more scrutiny than men are. But
I mean, just to talk about our experience, Chris. Like, I don't know. You're in shape? You know, that's good. You're welcome. Do you feel that happen? I mean, you're the director of fitness, bro. Do you think that happens?
I think it does. I think it's when someone is looking to be coached by somebody, I think it's more of a society flaw where it almost goes to the point where they're like, you've never done the sport or been good at the sport means you're not a good coach. Because I've had people tell me that.
That happens a lot, yeah.
I've had someone tell me that, like, why should I be coaching people because I've never made it to a high level in CrossFit or a high level in High Rocks. Like, you're not good enough to be coaching. I'm like, well, coaching and competing are two very different things. And I'm like, Sarah, you're an amazing person. You're very talented. You're very skilled. You're very knowledgeable. Like, you crush these things, and someone to judge you off of that is shitty. But it happens to men as well, but I don't think based off of looks.
It's probably more like what you said, the competitive resume than it is.
And that should be
aesthetics
nothing.
necessarily. I mean, that being said, if you were just like very obese teaching class, like there would be something talking about it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's unfortunate. Sorry to get off track, but I wanted to see what you thought about that.
yeah.
Anyway, discouraged, not cool. How you feel? Did that push you out of CrossFit maybe and
Actually,
towards
no.
weightlifting or no?
Actually, no. I was very discouraged in that moment. I was actually really shocked. One, that he would tell me that was said by a member. I don't know if I would make that same choice as a gym owner. But I feel like I thrived with that comment because it lives in my head, but not in a bad way, because I do a lot of really, really cool things with my body. And I love proving people wrong. Like, hopping up on the wall, teaching a wall walk, teaching as I'm doing a wall walk, or teaching a handstand push-up, or teaching a chest to bar pull-up. Like, those are skills that I can do. I can't do them in like high repetition or high volume, but I can still do those things. And I know how to teach those skills. And having somebody look at me and say, oh, maybe she might not be good at teaching gymnastics and teaching it well is really satisfying for me.
Yeah. You almost using it as fuel in a good way, not in like a negative way.
And
Just
there
using it to
are
get better.
some people on Instagram. There's this one coach. I can't remember her name. I wish I could shout her out, but she's incredible. She's a plus size CrossFit coach, and she has a lot of tips on how to coach gymnastics movements without like hanging on a bar all the way, or like doing things that maybe teaching skills that maybe you don't have, like muscle ups, or and teaching them in a way that's really effective without actually doing the movement.
Yeah, that is great, because I think sometimes the athletes or coaches that can do the movements, they're like, hey, just do it like this, and they'll just jump up and do it. And that's not great coaching, just showing that you can do the movement. It's like there's a different skill of actually teaching somebody how to do it versus just showing it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also think too, it's really gymnastics specifically put the most muscle on my body during that time in my like life.
Yeah.
Like I got really large delts from doing strict handstand push-ups.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And I really liked the way my body looked when I was doing CrossFit.
Yeah.
But moving on, weightlifting.
Weightlifting.
Yes. So I've been weightlifting since 2017. It took me 6 years, but I qualified for senior nationals in 2022.
Okay.
And that was my biggest goal.
Okay.
I think that was like the thing, the things that you write on your mirror, or like the things that you write down that you say to yourself every day, those kind of goals. That was my goal.
Where was that one at?
Colorado Springs.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how was that experience?
It was a mixed bag because I had pulled my quad. So I had a quad strain leading up to nationals, so I couldn't squat. And Sean, as you know, squatting is I have to squat in order to perform my lifts. Like my strength ratios are low compared to my classic lifts. I'm a very efficient lifter. I'm not a very strong athlete. Like I'm strong, but you know what I mean. So the fact that I couldn't squat was very detrimental to my performance. And I think it affected me more mentally than physically, because I am a game day athlete. I think I can like Sean said the other day, I can RDL the heck out of a snatch and still make it.
I don't think that was a compliment.
It wasn't.
Hey,
but she has that ability. And we were talking about an athlete's ability to adapt, so robustness under errors. And Sarah has great technique, but she also has robustness when things go wrong. And I think that's an important thing for all athletes to have. Like, it's not always going to be perfect, 100%. You know, it's probably why clarking happens. Like, people that tend to clark, it's like, okay, didn't feel perfect, and they just give up on it. And instead, it's like, shut that part of your brain off and train. But in any case, yeah, it's important for Sarah to squat well. And if it's not going well, it probably screws with your mind a lot.
Yeah, and I'm actually more of a snatcher than I am clean and jerk. Snatch is my favorite lift. I hardly ever miss a snatch in competition. My miss to make ratio is like, but clean and jerks is another story. Clean and jerks is another story. So Nationals 2023, I only made one snatch. I only made my opener.
Okay.
And I was pissed. I walked off that stage and I told Chris that he better load 110. Like, today was the day, and I don't care if I didn't look like I could have 110, he's going to put 110 on the bar. Because I also had decided I was going to retire after that meet.
Okay.
Obviously, that didn't happen.
You met the big goal, and it was
How many years ago was that? And we're still getting after it.
I know. So my clean and jerks were going really, really well. I smashed 100 in the back was my last warm up, and it was like I was just rage at that point. I opened at 103. It was the easiest 103 I'd ever done. I did 107. 107 was also, I mean, it was a grind to stand up, but I smashed the jerk, and then he loaded 110, and there was a little bit of doubt that creeped up because of how tough that 107 was. And Chris told me, like, you're gonna have to fight hard to stand this up, but you can do it. And it was the best rack out of all three lifts. I racked it, but I paused. I didn't catch it on the bounce. Like, I didn't stand right up, and I got stuck and missed it. But I got under it.
That's huge.
So it was a mixed bag. I think it was a great experience to have been on a national stage, competing as a senior at 40 years old.
Yeah. Very few people can say that they've done that.
I think we were talking about that at nationals this year. There was how many? 2, 3 that are like masters athletes?
It might have been like 2 or 3 women. I'm sure they're like, 'cause like I know Chris Douglas, who's I think just competed yesterday or something. I think he's 45 now. But yeah, very few. I don't know that it's more than 10.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
So to be able to do that's very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the meet that got me there though was like probably up until Masters Nationals, the best meet of my life. Yeah.
The one that qualified you
Yeah.
for it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What meet was that at?
AO Finals 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where was that? I'd just like to know where they are.
Atlanta.
It was Atlanta?
Oh, Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
In my brain, I said it, but I didn't. It didn't.
Yeah.
I had to take a train home from that one.
You did?
I did. I got to take a train home.
He elected to take
I
a train.
elected to take a train home.
We know somebody who loves trains.
Do you know what trains? Do you know what that's a sign of?
I believe so.
Okay. My wife loves trains.
Does she collect trains?
No, she's really only into like the real trains. You know, like
train rides.
My grandfather loved trains, and he had all of like the model sets. Like when he died, we had to go to his house in Tehachapi, California. He had a barn full of train shit, like full of it. Like he was setting up the models and everything like that. Like that was a next level thing. Taylor just likes like regular trains and like traveling on. You ever traveled on a train?
I have.
Like other than that, like I guess you did that overnight, huh?
That, but I did my coolest train ride. I was in Germany and I rode from Dusseldorf to Zelmsee,
That must have
Australia.
been amazing.
That was cool, like through the Swiss Alps and stuff.
Australia?
Yeah.
Nope. From Germany to
Nope.
Australia?
Did I say Australia?
You did.
Should have said Austria.
Okay.
Very similar.
Close.
Yeah, close enough. Geographically close,
Yeah.
verbally not very close.
Yep. Like I did the high-speed train in Spain. I did the Channel train from like London to Paris. Trains are amazing.
Yeah.
We should all like trains. Even if it means things, you should all like.
I do. I like trains.
like a good train.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyways,
Atlanta best meet.
best
Yeah.
meet. Do you want to talk about Masters Nationals now? Because I think that's the only time I've personally seen you compete.
Well, you've done a lot, Sarah. If at any point, correct me if I'm wrong. Like I know you've been to Masters Worlds. I can't recall if you won the Masters World Championship.
I came in third.
You came in there. Okay, I'm pretty sure the time that like we saw you in Pan American Masters Championship in Orlando, you won your category. If I remember right. Yeah. Yep. So like, you're a Pan Am Masters champion. You are a World Masters medalist. Also, did you win the Nationals before this most recent one at all? Masters Nationals?
No, I came in. This is the story of my life.
Okay,
I
here
win.
we go.
I win first in the snatch, and I win second in the total and in the clean and jerk.
Okay.
Yes,
But Masters Nationals this year, what did you do?
same.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the story of your life.
It is.
But you did something cool that week, that meet as well too, though, right?
Yeah, it was the first time on a competition platform I went 6 for 6,
Which was.
and I'm still wearing my bracelet.
Oh, you really are?
Yep.
Do you wear it every day?
I do.
That's amazing.
It's almost broke. It's like breaking. It's ripping, and all the words have come off. But like I'm wearing that thing until
Until it falls apart.
yeah.
What does it say on it? I don't even know what it says.
It just said USAW 6 for 6.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't get to get.
It says nothing on it now.
But that was a lot of fun to watch. I enjoyed it.
Incredible performance.
Yeah.
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 I will
And-
say one thing.
Please do.
I think the coolest experience I have ever had in weightlifting thus far is hitting an American record.
What is it?
It was 88, and it was for the snatch, and it was at that 2022 finals.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's gonna be such a cool feeling.
yeah. And then I think Kim Douglas snatched 89 to take the record. I think she did it last AO2.
Okay.
Yeah, the last AO2. So the next time we compete head to head is going to be at finals,
Okay.
and both of us are gearing toward both of us are going to try to snatch 90.
Let's go.
So
Yeah, let's do it.
it's the last time we'll ever be able to.
Well, you're going to snatch 90.
I'm going to snatch 90.
Kim is going to try to.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love this.
Yeah. It's the last time we'll be in this same age category until she ages up next year.
Okay, I get yeah.
Yeah. And no, it'll be exciting. Like she's such a kind,
She is a
like
great
wonderful.
human.
Like if you're gonna lose to somebody, it might as well be Kim.
Yeah.
So
She is a great human. I've competed with her since 2021. So we've been at every competition together, competing together since then. And it's just great having her back there.
Yeah.
Like we totally support each other. That's what I think that the cool thing about Masters is we're all just like hugging each other and fist bumping each other. We all love to be back there together. We're like hanging out. it's like a fun
Did
thing.
you watch Sean lift?
No. I'm sorry. Because this is something we think about.
We are different.
So Taylor the same. Taylor's like her.
Taylor.
So Will Edmonds is director of communications for USA Weightlifting, and he was in Atlanta, and he was just there. If you saw a photo or video, it was like probably him taking it, from Masters Nationals. And
he used one of my videos.
Okay, all right.
Clarify.
But he was saying, it's like, it feels like, he's like, it doesn't feel like other national meets. This feels like a big local, like a big fun local meet, like a local meet just on a bigger platform, because everybody's just really enjoying each other and cheering and having a good time. And I completely agree. Like, that's one of my all-time, both the Masters Nationals that I've gone to, the one in Reno and this one, have been like two of my favorite meets that I've ever been to, honestly, because they've been really fun for us as a team, I think is what it is. Like, we've had large teams go to it, and it's been, that camaraderie is like irreplaceable. But yeah, it felt that way even amongst not just our team in Atlanta, like exactly like you're describing. Yeah. And the reason that I'm laughing is because that is what my wife will be like, don't talk to me. Like, don't talk. We're not friends right now. Don't talk to me. After we can hug and do all that stuff. And it's like, I guess we're like very different people. Like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Part. I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm competitive.
You are competitive.
And
so, when you're warming up, you're locked in. Absolutely.
I'm locked in. I don't want to talk to anybody when I'm warming up. Like, I have my playlist on. I'm serious. But, and yes, I want to beat you, Kim. Like, I want to beat you. But it's not in like a way where I hate you. It's just, I have goals, and I love competition. It's my favorite part about the sport. It's why we train, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I'm just going to double down. Dan Dodd, you're going down. Okay, now I got that out of the way.
Okay, buddy.
So now you're a heavy metal remote athlete.
I am.
So first off, what made you choose to join the team as an athlete?
I think it's pretty simple. I just was looking for a community that was closer geographically than California. I live in Virginia, and I was a SoCal remote athlete for 5 years, and it was just getting very difficult to like make the travel work. And, like I said before, I'm a very community oriented person. I want to be around people. I want to be around my team, and it's a short little 4-hour drive to get here.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. And I really believe in Sean's philosophy and what he's built here, the culture of the team. It's always been something I've looked at from afar, being like, this is a team I want to be around. So it was an easy decision for me, really. Good. I was thinking about East Coast Gold, because Phil is like right up the road, basically an hour away. But as a master athlete, I do Masters Nationals. That's my biggest meet of the year. And he only travels to Senior Nationals and AO Finals. So that was kind of the deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we have a very, like to Sean's point, at Atlanta, we had a ton of people there. In Reno, our Masters team is large and in charge.
And it's so cool how they show up to support each other. It's not just like the heavy metal crew in the stands, which is also the biggest crowd, I must say, out there. But it's also the heavy
and the
metal, loudest. But it's also the crew that's in the back, counting for other athletes and showing up for each other in that way. Like Mel and Erica and
people wanted to be. Like, it got to the point like we had to tell people no, right? Like, cause like you can only have so many in the back, and like there's something about managing, what's going on. But yeah, so many people is like, hey, can I help? Like, can I load? Can I do whatever it is?
It's just such a support, such a huge support. And I don't know, I think it sealed the deal for me that I made the right choice at Masters Nationals. It just felt right.
Good.
Yeah.
So you've been remote coached for, is that 6 years now?
Yeah,
total?
since 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Okay. So
really.
What is it like being remote coached compared to in person?
It's really different. I was actually just having a conversation with Allison this morning about it. There's tough things, but there's also really profoundly incredible things. I am at my core a people pleaser. It's really tough.
Sean looks so shocked.
I know. So when you're in person and you're training in front of your coach, I think there's a little bit of expectation there. Like, I'm here to make my coach proud. Like, I think that everyone has that. And maybe some people don't, but like you show up and you want to perform well, not just for yourself, but for your coach. And that can be said for the way I showed up to training. And I think that kind of hindered my progress, because my why was not for me. My why was for my coach. And not that it was made to be like that. That's the way that I kind of framed it in my own mind.
Set it up, yeah.
Yeah. So on heavy days, I had put so much pressure on myself to perform. And when I didn't perform, I just get in my own way, I guess. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so you almost felt like you were letting them down versus yourself.
And when I took myself out of that, and I got cued almost like all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Not every lift, but I would get cued all the time.
Yeah, you have immediate in-session support.
So, and that can also be, that's...
Even if it's only affirmation, it may not even be a cue to fix something. It's like, keep doing it that way. So it's like, you're immediately like, okay, yeah, that's all I needed to hear, right?
Yeah. And I think that's the good part. I think every beginner needs an in-person coach. I think that goes without saying.
1,000%. Yeah.
You know, so if you are interested in getting into weightlifting, find an in-person coach. If you end up outgrowing them, then move on to somebody else. But it's always important to have an in-person coach as a beginner.
Yeah, we did an episode 2 or 3 episodes ago. Or is it the one that hasn't come out yet? I don't know. But where we discussed how important it is to have an in-person coach.
Yeah.
And I think what I was thinking was, to your point of, the more experienced of a lifter you are, probably the more you can handle being remote coach, because you're going to know your lifts better. You're going to know how you feel. Because I feel like I've seen you and I've seen Taylor do it here almost daily, where she's like, she notices these small things that she adjusts or that she does different, wrong or good. So like to your point of being new to this, you need to have in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only if there's like complete no other option. I mean, first of all, if you're starting, I wouldn't even say that. If you're like just starting, must get an in-person coach. Like, you can watch YouTube videos and whatever, and that's helpful. Like, there's a lot of good different ways and people doing that well, and that's fine. But like, you must go get a coach. You can't do that and then go skip to remote coaching.
Right.
In my opinion, you will hold yourself back. You'll have a lot of issues. So you got to do that. So even if there's no one proximal, no excuse. Like, you have to, one time a week, if you're serious about this, figure it out and go.
Or move.
Or move.
I'm just, if you're serious, if you want to.
Well, you know, when you start, you don't know necessarily.
Right.
But so I would
That's true.
say, like, hey, go just one time a week. Just go find some. I don't care if they're 2-hour drive. Like, do that one time a week.
Yeah.
You know, and commit to that for a period of time, and then decide, like, oh, I really do love this. Maybe I'll move, or I'm gonna keep this arrangement where I'm gonna keep going, or I don't love it that much. I don't love it, you know, for that, you know, because there are people in, like, I don't know, man, Dakota or Montana or whatever, like, it really is a challenge, right? Who are just out there on their own. But for the most part, and we already talked about this, is way better. You got to go see the in-person coach instead of the sexy whatever program coach. Yep. I think remote coaching is like a privilege you earn after minimum 2 years of in-person coaching.
There needs to be some consistency in your movement already.
Yeah, it has to be stable, 100%. And like, I don't think you have kind of what we were getting at, the ability to objectively self review what you're doing, which is really important when you're being a remote athlete, right? Unless you've trained in person with somebody for 2 years. And even then, you know, if you only did it one time a week, you're not getting the frequency. I think I talked maybe in one of the episodes about this, like, if not, I'll do it real quick now. Like, my cheating path to becoming a good coach, maybe faster than somebody otherwise would, was because I had 5 incredible senior international coaches who I basically lived with and saw 9 times a week, every single day. So like, that process condensed so much information and knowledge into a relatively short amount of time, right? And so I got to have that experience. Not everybody, I don't think anybody will ever get that experience again, actually, now that I think about it. But it's a step you can't skip. You have to get coached in person.
And the opposite can also be said. Like, once you get to a certain point, I think, at least for me personally, that's why remote was so great for me, is you get 1 or 2 cues or 1 or 2 feedback, times of feedback, I guess, per week. And then you take that with you to training. And it really helped my confidence, because the people around me were like, encouraging me, cheering me on. I wasn't getting nitpicked. Not that I do, but I nitpick myself, right? I'm like, oh shoot, like my heels came up too early, or I reached my hips to the bar, blah, blah, blah. And, your coach can be like, yeah, why don't we focus here and focus there? And my crew here that I trained with was like, put some more weight on the bar, like, let's go. So I was able to kind of put those voices back and just put the weight on and just be brave, which is completely different from how I was training before. Like, my goal in training was to move perfectly every time and perfect my movement. It wasn't, and of course I was hoping to PR or whatever it was. But I think it shifted and I became more laser focused on putting more kilos on the bar. And that was my goal. I needed to be confident. I needed to be brave. I needed to pull under whatever was on the bar. And I was in a good environment to do that. So I was lucky too, like in 2020, when the world started to open back up, Chris did a really incredible thing for me. He would have these remote sessions on Zoom with me and a couple other remote athletes. And Jake was kind enough to like let me set up my computer in the gym. And Chris would, coach me while I was training remotely. That was really cool. That only lasted for about maybe less than a year, but it lasted for a while after COVID.
We'll still do periodically. We'll do that. We'll have like the Masters team. We'll get on Zoom together and do sessions together. It's cool to see.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah. This is an if. Well, it's not an if. You definitely have. We all have. What is one mistake you've made in your athletic career that was very challenging?
Thinking that more reps meant I was working harder.
Does this go back to what you were talking about earlier, like doing lighter weights, just trying to over-analyze each lift?
Yeah, so I would ask for more volume. I would train hard. I would do CrossFit on my rest days. I would do more repetitions of more exercises because I thought it made me better when I was, stunting my growth as an athlete because I was working too hard and not recovering well.
Yeah.
So it opened me up to a lot of injuries early on.
Yeah, conflating output of work and effort with progress. It's
yeah,
not
like
always
thinking that, someone else is going to work harder than me and going to beat me. I need to outwork them and just continue to put in the work without really the understanding of how important it is to take rest days and be intentional with the reps that you have on your program, right? So sometimes I would just, add a few sets here, add a few sets there, do grace on the weekends at the CrossFit gym.
What? What's wrong?
It's just a crazy thing to do on the rest day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Isabel will be fine. Okay.
What workout was that?
Isabel?
Which one's that?
I think it's
Snatches, 30 snatches
30
for time.
snatches for time.
Does anyone know their Isabel time? Does anyone have?
I think two people in this room specifically do. I also know mine. So
I'm not allowed to discuss this matter. Harold, you have anything you'd like to say?
what was the time? It was like 3:30, right?
I was.
It was like way too long.
All I know is mine was quicker than hers. That's
That
all
is
that
what we
matters.
know.
202 is mine.
Let's go.
You did 202?
Yeah.
That's super. That's really good.
And my Karen time is sub 8 minutes. And that was last year.
Why are you doing Karen last year?
2024 was the year. Oh, maybe that was 2023. No, it was 2024. Yeah.
You like wall balls?
I do like wall balls.
What if I tell you there's a workout where you get to run 8 kilometers?
No.
Nope.
You lost me.
I tried. Okay, so Sean mentioned you have accomplished a lot. Like, you didn't even mention some of those medals that you've had. But the future, what are the goals?
I think that my future goals are more geared towards my coaching.
Okay.
So I just want to learn more as a coach. I want to be able to give my athletes what they need to succeed. And I would love to see all my athletes happy, healthy, competing, and having fun. That's my biggest goal.
You don't not have athletic goals.
I do have athletic goals.
Well,
I
so we
do
talked
have my
about one.
I do have my personal athletic goals, but I think I would say I
But that's
think
more your focus now.
I think more about my coaching goals and my athletes and what I want, how I can best support them to get what they want in life in this sport.
This is how I know how much of a, like, I don't want to say people pleaser because you are, but like how much you care about people and your athletes is like Sean had in here for the note to like what is the goal as an athlete, and I didn't mention it, and then you went straight to like the people I care about. So to his point, as an athlete,
As an athlete,
what is the goal you have?
So I registered.
She's gonna snatch 90.
I registered for AO finals, and I don't care what you all say, it's AO finals, and the World
Yeah,
Championship.
what else would it be?
Yeah.
Wait,
So
what else is it?
we don't know.
I'm not gonna. It's AO finals.
So I registered for both of those meets in December in Daytona, and my goal is to snatch 90 and to clean and jerk 110.
Let's go 200 total.
200 total.
Let's go.
Yeah, my best total is 195. So
Heck yeah.
yeah,
I cannot wait to see that. It's going to be good. What is going to be most critical for you to achieve that?
squat.
Yeah, that probably basically sums it up.
Yeah, squat.
Okay.
Yeah,
We've finally seen some breakthroughs in the last few weeks. We were kind of like building it up earlier this year and then had a couple like life interruptions. There were several things going. There was like travel to nationals. You got pretty sick.
yeah.
Kids got sick.
Yeah.
Like it was a whole bunch. And so we kind of had to hit the reset button. So we're actually working on squats, your back squat anyway, later than I thought we would be. But I thought it was so important that we needed to do it. And I think we made progress on it. And now it's time to probably transition it a little, like start up. We're not going to stop trying hard at squats,
Right.
but start using it.
Yeah, I
More.
tend to be more successful when the strength lifts are pushed further along in the cycle. I remember he programmed for me at Masters Nationals like a heavy clean pull. It was like 120 or something crazy, like the day before I competed.
It was not the day before. I never even write workouts for the day
Okay, well, it felt, I was at the venue and I was like, I've never pulled this heavy.
You
this
competed.
close.
You competed Saturday.
Yeah.
It was either a Wednesday or Thursday
Probably.
workout. It probably was meant to be Wednesday, and then something happened, and you probably had to do it Thursday. So,
And I think I had to do like 3 singles at over 120 for a pull, and I'd never done that before, but it helps. It helps me feel confident because the pull off the floor is kind of where I get messed up. If the pull isn't right off the floor, if it's not correct right off the floor, it puts me in a bad position for the squat, especially in cleans.
And then you don't like squats.
Yeah. I mean, I like squats. They're just hard.
Trust me, I know.
They're just really tough.
As the weakest squatter in this room, I know.
False.
What's your best squat? Lifetime.
137,
Yeah,
I guess.
137.
So, yeah, you got Sarah
Let's go.
for now.
Barely.
What's your squat?
I've hit 157. I'm not capable of doing that right now, but I have done that.
I would love to just squat 140. I had it on the bar twice. And I think one of the days I probably could have done it, but I mistimed. I don't know. Sometimes I get in my head with squats. So
It's okay, but
it's
you're getting
there.
better.
It's there.
That's good. Okay, well, we're going to shift a little bit.
Okay.
Sean, do you want to make this announcement?
Sure. Hey, guys. So, my job has changed. And so the workload that I have now is a little bit different. That doesn't mean I am not coaching at our club or our gym anymore. I still am. But, I mean, my bandwidth has been capped for quite some time, even before this change. So I asked Sarah, like before nationals, to consider joining our coaching staff, largely to handle remote athletes, like because we're kind of limited with our current staff and our ability to help people. And Sarah has accepted that offer. So Sarah is part of the Heavy Metal coaching staff. So I'm very, very thankful for that. She's accepting remote athletes if you're interested in getting coaching, like with our methodologies and joining our team and working with somebody who as kind, as wonderful, thoughtful, and experienced as Sarah is. It's a great opportunity
That was
for
very
you
kind of you.
too. Well, that's true. And then Sarah will definitely be, especially with my workload changes, you'll see her, catch her at meets, not just where she's going to compete, but competitions where she's going to be coaching for the team in the future too. So
Very excited.
Yeah.
Very excited.
me too.
Can I call dibs on her to coach me at Worlds?
If you want, yeah,
Call dibs.
Okay. Whatever.
As long as it's not the same day I'm competing.
It shouldn't be.
Perfect. Here we go. Great.
Okay.
Well, congratulations. We love you as a person, so we're very excited to have you here, even if it's remotely. It's going to be a great addition to the team. So what originally drew you to coaching? If you want to go back to the CrossFit when you first started coaching and progress from there, I would love to hear your coaching history.
I just care a lot about people.
You really do. You really do.
I would consider myself an empath. I think that sometimes it can be like I was telling Sean the other day, like I can lose sleep over like athletes sometimes, like thinking too much about it.
And it made me, like her coach, who cares about her, upset actually. So I was like, we need to fucking get that thing under control. Like
That's exactly how he said it too. No, I love my favorite thing about coaching, and I think I felt it first during CrossFit, and it just hooked me in. Is somebody walks through the door and we do a class, and they walk out the door with just a little bit more understanding about movement, and they feel more comfortable like moving in their body, and they feel at like the most important part about fitness, I think, in my opinion, is feeling confident in your skin, in your body, feeling comfortable in your movement, no matter what your body looks like. And being able to see that and give that gift to people is like profound. So that's kind of where it started in CrossFit. Mm-hmm. And then it just progressed into weightlifting. Yeah.
What do you like coaching more?
That's tough. The easy answer is weightlifting.
Okay.
Because I that's ultimately what I did.
Right.
Like I stopped coaching CrossFit after I accepted the job from Sean, and also the coaching role. I have been promoted at RVA Performance Training, so I'm doing both. I am now a full-time weightlifting coach, which is incredible. I never thought that day would come, to be honest. It's very exciting.
It's a unique position to be able to be in. I'm not saying you're rolling in the dough here or anything, but to have enough work where you could say like, oh yeah, this is my job.
Yeah.
Is your profession as weightlifting coach. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think my love for coaching started in CrossFit. Yeah. Because it was really cool to see how I was comfortable in my body. And I would see people, I would have consults with specifically some women that would just feel really shy and like, I don't know if I could do this, and just watching them blossom. Because I think what some people don't understand is when you go into the gym, it's a very vulnerable place, right? Like you're faced with yourself. You learn how to face conflicts because you're constantly being exposed to things that you can't do. So when you learn how to do those things that you think that you can't do, it equips you with the tools to go outside in the world.
It's very empowering.
It's very empowering. And
I like the way you said that too, because not only are you being exposed to those things you don't think you can do, you're then seeing other people who are really good at those things, and that can be really challenging.
Yeah, it can be really challenging, but seeing your progress in little small increments, you get a little more hooked every time. I think that's too why I loved weightlifting, because it's not something that you're ever perfect at, right? But you learn things, a little bit of things, and you get more efficient each time. So,
throughout your coaching career, who have been some of the biggest influence on your style of coaching?
I think all the coaches in my life, right? So my first coach, I was inspired by how much he gave to me as an athlete, and I didn't pay extra to like come in at barbell started I think at 4:30, and he would tell me come in at 3:30. He wasn't paid for that hour. I would come in at 3:30, and he would have an hour of just instruction, of me and train with me. And it would be like one-on-one. And then I would do barbell with the team. And he loved coaching weightlifting. So that made me really appreciative and see that, okay, there are coaches out there that really do care about their athletes. That was like my first impression of a coach. And then going to SoCal, like Chris was a huge influence in my coaching. The way that he coached me, he was also teaching me. So he was also teaching me how to program. He was teaching me not just how to weightlift, but how to coach, like with every session. He would ask me, he would sit down with me, and he would say, what do you see with that lift? And we would talk about it. And I wasn't even a coach at that point. Like I wasn't coaching for him, but he would say, what do you see? And he was like putting little things in my mind about seeing lifts in more of a coach's eye.
Yeah, I think because like it's very obvious how much you care about people. He probably saw that and was like, oh, she's going to be coaching these people at some point, or going to be coaching at some point here.
Yeah. I mean, they offered me the job, and it took me a long time to actually accept it because I didn't think I was good enough.
So you care a lot.
She did the same shit to me. So like respectfully, like I was like, it's a big change. You got to think about it, all the things in your life. But that was like, I think the number one thing that was holding her back was actually like, I don't know. It's like, no, of course. Like, so when we talk about that episode, Phil's questions, like, how do you find good coaches? And she already said, like, our answer is like, just care a lot. Like, be a good person, care a lot, be able to connect with people and understand them. And that's way more important than, honestly, that's more important than having the developed coaching eye, because I can teach you how to have that. I can't teach you to care. If you don't care, no one's going to teach you.
Yeah, Chris and I would have hours-long conversations about what it means to be a weightlifting coach, and we would always talk about just making human connections, and that was the most important thing, is just building human interactions and real in-depth connection with people.
Yeah. Apparently, I spent too much time on Reddit, but there was a post yesterday that was like talking about like which certificates for coaching and credentials matter. And like the whole thread, like the only thing that was like, yeah, like you can have every credential or every certificate there is, but if you're a shitty person and don't care about them and don't know how to connect to them, you're not going to be a good coach. Like, and you have that gift. So like you just learning how to coach is just amazing.
Thanks.
Sorry. So I think I'm going to know this answer. You've kind of touched on it, but what's your favorite part about coaching?
What's my favorite part about coaching? I guess the light bulb moments. I have this one athlete at RVA, Bobby, and Bobby is such a cool kid. He's a beginner weightlifter, and he was like, hey, I think I'm going to take some time and do something different. Will you create a program for me that makes me feel athletic? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So we did, more explosive movements. We did some squats and some snatch and clean and jerk, but the majority of his program was like sprints and like things that made him feel athletic. And every day he would come to the gym so excited and to train, and he would leave the gym and he would say, I feel like an athlete today. And I'm like, awesome. And it's just seeing that like brightness in his eyes, it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Knowing that like you had an impact on helping him get to where he wants to be.
Yeah. Or when there's an athlete that struggles with confidence and you write a program that this is going to be tough, like mentally, for this person to load this weight, but I believe in them and I'm going to tell them that I believe in them. And then they load the weight and then they make the lifts and you're like, yes.
Such a good feeling.
Yeah. It's just so amazing to see that.
Yeah. Whenever they succeed, Don McCauley, my coach, he really loved the talking and like getting into your brain part and figuring out like, okay, how do I understand how they view it and how do I say the words that help them solve this problem? He viewed it all as like problem solving, and he loved getting the right piece of the puzzle together. And I think that's my favorite part, is like looking at it as like, oh, these are such complex problems sometimes when we're talking about technique or whatever, or the complex problem could just be confidence or mentality. And when you can help them towards their goals and have that breakthrough, it's like the best possible feeling.
Yeah. I mean, or even helping guide them when they miss. Like,
Yeah.
if you load this, you're confident, you do your absolute best to get under the bar. It just wasn't there today. How do they respond to that miss?
Yeah.
And,
Well, we don't miss here.
Okay. But I think the misses are just as important as the makes. And how you respond to
Your
them.
response to it is absolutely.
For you, what is the most challenging part of coaching?
Oh, geez. I think the most challenging part about weightlifting is you want it so bad for them, and then they might not want it as much as you want it for them.
Yeah, I think that's a different way of saying exactly what I agree is the hardest part of coaching.
Yeah.
It's just like, because the way I've always worded it is like, we can supply a lot of tools as coaches, but like, we can't provide the effort. And if they don't want that bad, like what else can you do? And that can be frustrating, because especially when you really care about people and you want them to achieve those
and
goals.
I'm like in front of my computer, I'm like, oh, this is so great. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
And then they come in and they're like, I hate all of this. And you're like, oh no. You know, and it's a lot of times it's not about the program, right? The program is arbitrary. I think sometimes, not all the time, but I think it's sometimes you're going to get better at snatch and clean and jerk if you snatch and clean and jerk. You're going to get stronger if you squat and pull. Like that's really the key. But you try to curate this thing that they're going to enjoy, and that's not going to be too hard. It's also going to highlight their superpower, right? Sometimes make them feel like they're, you know, moving the needle forward. And when that doesn't happen, that's hard too.
Yeah, it's a big challenge. What would you do what are like some tactics or methods you use to try to achieve that goal of like making it fun for them when they're not having fun, when they give that feedback?
So this is Sean. Okay, so Sean did this fun thing. And it wasn't fun at the time.
Oh, yeah.
When I looked at the program, but it ended up being really fun. He did this thing where it was like you're doing 1 rep, 2 rep, and 3 rep, and they're all at the same weight. And then you did that like twice. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, you're having me do a triple at the weight that you're having me do a single. He's like, yeah, the single is just a warm up. Like, it's just getting you prepared for the triple. So I went into the training thinking like, this is gonna be really hard, but it was actually really fun.
Yeah.
Right. And then he had this one day where we did big jumps, where we did a single at this weight, and then we went down in weight, and then we went up from that first single, like, and then we went back down to that same weight, and then we went up again, and then we went back down. So at the end of the day, at the last 2 reps, I was taking like a 10-kilo jump, and I was like, I can't do this. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this. And of course I did it.
Don't say you did it. You definitely
did. So I took that lead, and I was like, for one of my athletes, Eva, leading up to nationals, we did a fun little game. And I was like, okay, the goal was to do as many reps at her opener as possible. So we did 4 singles at her opener. And if you made all 4, you could have another 2 attempts.
Oh, yeah. I like that one.
But if you miss one of the openers, you only get 1 attempt. If you miss 2, you have to take a drop set. So
that sounds like a fun game.
It was a fun game, and she had a lot of fun, and she did really, really well, because it like puts a little different spin on it, and it kind of takes you outside of doing the numbers. And you're like, oh, I'm like in a competition. I got to compete with myself.
I kind of want to create a competition format where it's like, oh, if you make all 3, you get a 4th bonus lift. Like, and it counts, not just for fun. Like, you actually earn it, sort of thing. I think it'd be kind of cool. But anyway, it's aside. Yeah, really, really great and motivating to be able to keep someone focused. It's
gamify it.
Yep.
Yeah, gamify it.
Gamifying is huge.
Yes. What has been the best piece of coaching advice that you've ever received?
It's all bullshit.
That's a Chris Amenta saying. Yeah, for sure is.
It's all bullshit. We just have different levels of bullshit. So that meaning we all know nothing. in the grand scheme of things. Like we're always learning, like always be in the mindset of learning. You've never reached the pinnacle of understanding, right? So always have people in your life that are teaching you and pushing you to learn more.
I think this is a great follow-up question is what's your process for improvement as a coach, having those people around you, or there's some other things you do to keep growing as a coach?
Yeah. So I think the traditional ways of learning are like reading, right? That's really tough for me. I have some learning challenges. So reading books can be kind of tough for me. They have to be certain texts, and I have to sometimes use different tools to understand the text a little bit. So I do have books right now that I'm reading, but I think it's also really important to have mentors because I learn by doing. Like I always tell my husband, don't explain to me how to play this game. Let's just play the game. Like if you sit here and read the instructions, I'm not going to understand.
I'm not going to listen.
Yeah. Got to do.
Yeah, I just have to play the game. So I guess the best thing to do is just to do it. The best way to be a better coach is just to coach. The best way
Get
to
the reps in.
Yeah, like get better at snatch, just snatch more.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I think being around other coaches, seeing how other coaches do things, and sometimes using that as a template and then figuring out where your voice is within that and then just moving on from there
I think that's great. Take it and then make it your own.
and make it your own. Yeah.
Well,
And
that's
don't
all.
use ChatGPT.
Don't. Well,
I
how
mean,
about don't just rely.
For coaching.
Let's not write our programs through ChatGPT.
Has anybody tried that? Has anybody uploaded a video of a snatch and asked ChatGPT to review it?
No.
We should
I
do
might
that
do
at
that.
some point.
I want to do
just,
that.
Yeah, put in there to see what
Can
happens.
I do the rapid fire ones?
Yeah, please do.
We're gonna wrap it up. Thank you, Sarah, for being willing to do this. I know, but I think the conversation's been amazing. So I have 3 rapid fire questions. Don't think too hard on them. What's one coaching hill you're willing to die on? Like one thing, and he's like, no, it has to be like this. Or maybe an unpopular opinion, even.
I don't have any of those, I don't think.
No?
Maybe I do. Maybe I'm not good at rapid fire.
I was going to say rapid fire. Sarah and rapid fire might not go well together.
It might be your coaching hill might be it's all bullshit. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe it's just don't use ChatGPT. How about that?
Okay.
What do people misunderstand about what you do as a coach?
I don't teach people how to bench.
Okay. And then if you weren't coaching, if you weren't a professional weightlifting coach, what would you be doing?
I would probably be a baker.
Okay.
I would own a bakery or a bagel shop, coffee shop. That's what I would do.
Well, you and Young Harv and Chris of OK Coffee can make that happen.
Wait, I have a rapid fire question.
Okay.
What's your go-to competition song in your headphones? What's in your headphones when you compete?
Go ahead.
3,
Go ahead.
2, 1. Mo Bamba. Dog, where you at, dog?
I didn't know. I thought you were gonna do a song. Sorry.
I thought.
Yeah, Mo Bamba would be pretty good. It's actually Sandstorm, 100% that Sandstorm. But Mo Bamba, I did listen to Mo Bamba at Masters Nationals and was ready to go through a fucking wall. So,
Do you have to listen to different style music from Snatch to Clean and Jerk?
yeah, it's EDM Snatch, much more aggressive, usually metal, Clean and Jerk.
Yeah, I'm a Tool. Enema is the song I play.
Oh, it's super helpful. Yeah, that's
my Clean and Jerk song.
That's like the warm up process begins.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Sarah. We got to go train, so we got to wrap this thing. But
Yep. We are way late.
thank you, Chris.
Thank you, guys. That was a blast. I'm glad you're in town, Sarah.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.